Yehova Tzvaot Elohim. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. 2 Samuel chapter 7. After the king had been living in his palace a while, and Yehovah had given him rest from all his surrounding enemies, the king said to Nathan the prophet, "Here I am, living in a cedar wood palace, but the ark of God is kept in a tent." Nathan said to the king, "Go, do everything that is in your heart, for Yehovah is with you." But the same night, the word of Yehovah came to Nathan. "Go and tell my servant David that this is what Yehovah says. You are going to build me a house to live in? Since the day I brought the people of Israel out of Egypt until today, I never lived in a house. Rather, I traveled in a tent and a tabernacle. Everywhere I traveled with all the people of Israel, did I speak a word to any of the tribes of Israel, whom I ordered to shepherd my people Israel, asking, 'Why haven't you built me a cedar wood house?' Therefore, say this to my servant David, that this is what Yehovah Tzvaot says. I took you from the sheep yards, from following the sheep, to make you chief over my people, over Israel. I have been with you wherever you went. I have destroyed all your enemies ahead of you, and I am making your reputation great, like the reputations of the great people of the earth. I will assign a place to my people Israel. I will plant them there, so that they can live in their own place without being disturbed anymore. The wicked will no longer oppress them, as they did at the beginning, and as they did from the time I ordered judges to be over my people Israel. Instead, I will give you rest from all your enemies. Moreover, Yehovah tells you that Yehovah will make you a house. When your days come to an end and you sleep with your ancestors, I will establish one of your descendants to succeed you, one of your own flesh and blood. I will set up his rulership. He will build a house for my name, and I will establish his royal throne forever. I will be a father for him, and he will be a son for me. If he does something wrong, I will punish him with rod and blows, just as everyone gets punished. Nevertheless, my grace will not leave him. As I took it away from Shaul, whom I removed from before you, thus your house and your kingdom will be made secure forever before you. Your throne will be set up forever." Nathan told David all these words and described this entire vision. Then David went in, sat before Yehovah, and said, "Who am I, Yehovah Elohim, and what is my family that has caused you to bring me this far? Yet in your view, Yehovah Elohim, even this was too small a thing, so that you have even said that your servant's dynasty will continue on into the distant future. That is indeed a teaching for a man, Yehovah Elohim, what more can David say to you? For you know your servant immediately, Yehovah Elohim. It is for the sake of your word and in accordance with your own heart that you have done all this greatness and revealed it to your servant. Therefore, you are great, Yehovah God, that there is none like you, and there is no God beside you. Everything you have heard confirms that. Who can be compared with your people, with Israel? What other nation on earth did God set out to redeem and make into a people for himself? You made yourself a reputation by doing for your land things that even for you are great and terrifying, for the sake of your people, whom you redeemed for yourself from Egypt and from other nations and from their gods. You set up your people for yourself as your people forever, and you, Yehova, became their God. So now, Yehova, God, establish forever the word you have spoken to your servant and his house. Do what you have promised. May your name be magnified forever, so that it will be said, Yehova Tzvaot is God over Israel, and the dynasty of your servant David will be set up in your presence. You, Yehova Tzvaot, God of Israel, have disclosed to your servant, I will build you a house. This is why your servant has the courage to pray this prayer to you. Now, Yehova Elohim, you alone are God. Your words are true, and you have made this wonderful promise to your servant. So may it please you to bless the family of your servant and thereby cause it to continue forever in your presence. For you, Yehova Elohim, have said it. May your servant's family be blessed forever by your blessings. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this awesome 7th chapter of 2 Samuel? We can trust Yehova to give you rest. Listen to the words of Yehova. Trust that Yehova is with his chosen children. Be a servant of Yehova. Trust that Yehova Tzvaot will place you where he wants you to be. Trust Yehova to go ahead of you and destroy your enemies. Trust Yehova to make your reputation great. Trust Yehova to plant you. Trust that through David is established a royal throne forever. Trust that the grace of Yehova will always be with his children. Trust that the kingdom of Yehova is secure forever. Humble yourself before Yehova Elohim. Trust Yehova Elohim to know you intimately. Trust that greatness is revealed to servants for the sake of his word and in accordance with his heart. Proclaim how great Yehova is, and that there is none like him. Trust that Yehova Elohim redeems. Proclaim Yehova is our Elohim. Magnify the name of Yehova forever. Yehova Tzvaot is Elohim of over Israel. Have courage to pray bold prayers to Yehova. Yehova alone is Elohim. Your words are true. Your words are truth. Trust Yehova to bless his children. Aim to be blessed forever by his blessings. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can teach others to trust and obey Yehova Tzvaot Elohim. Bear one another's burdens. We can proclaim Yehova Tzvaot is Elohim forever, Elohim of Israel. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. We'll end this Shabbat with the Arianic blessing using the name. Yehova will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehova will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehova will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shabbat Shalom.